All right, gentlemen, before we get into the tier list, this is basically how I have all the classes stacking up against each other. No bias, just, how I feel they performed after patch 5. And the biggest winner here was obviously the Vanguard. He ticked up the most for sure. Everybody really went up in melee damage. So having that be the factor, it kind of hurt the heavy because every other class got stronger and he just stayed the same. So, that's kind of unfortunate. I do think he needs some love. But overall, this is how I have them sitting right now against each other. And obviously, the balance is looking pretty damn good right now in the game. With, like I said, I think the Assault could have some things worked around with his jump pack, and the Heavy can have some of his, I think he could have some of his perks reworked to make them a little better. Like instead of having them expending all your energy on your shield, they will be activate or deactivate instead. So other than that, everything is looking pretty balanced. And as for the tier list, I have my 2A tier. Right here is the Heavy and Assault. And the reason, like I said before, the reason I put the Heavy now in the A tier is just because every other class got stronger with the patch, and he basically stayed the same. So another reason is I want them to show the Heavy some love in this next patch. He hasn't really got anything since the Plasma boost, and that was a while ago. So I think now that they reworked the melee weapons and helped out all the melee classes, that the Heavy is next up to get a little something given his way. So these are the two that I have sitting in A tier. And then another reason with the Assault, both of these are debatable S tier, honestly. It's that close in the game. But I'm putting them here because I think they could still they could get a little more things done for their class. And the Assault, I think the jump pack needs to be reworked. And I think jump pack dash basically just needs to be abandoned, and all those perks that are, affecting jump pack dash reworked somehow. So that's why they are falling in my A tier right now. Both very strong, debatable S tier characters for sure. And then these are my 3 S tier characters. Honestly, in any order, these 3 are very, very strong. I can't, really pick one over the other, even though the overall stats, are giving it to the sniper a little bit. It's really a tough decision. These 3 are all great range damage on the sniper and the tactical, and the melee damage ticked up on the tactical as well if you can, adjust to the blocking weapons and use his scan with it. Very strong. So, the melee damage is a 9, but that is, depending on if you can adjust to the blocking weapons. If not, it's still a solid 8 if you're using like a fencing weapon, just because they even got stronger with their base melee attack. So, all of these characters are sitting very good. The Bulwark, yeah, everybody just knows his ability. It is what it is. It's the strongest in the game. His survivability is great and all of that. So then we're going to have to move on to, this is it right here, man. I really think he is the best class in the game right now. And, I'm like a sniper main mostly. That's what I like to play the most. But, I can't fight it, man. When I'm the Vanguard now, I just feel like I can run around and basically do whatever I want to do, and how I want to do it. So if I want to throw the melter rifle out there and just deal with the miners and murder everything with the blocking weapons now, I can do that. Or I can just switch up to the Oculus and go with the fencing knife and go that route instead. So everything feels really good right now in the Vanguard. Like I said, I do think he is the strongest class in the game. And yeah, the melee, I want the Heavy to get some help now that the melee is out of the way. And I think they got it fixed, but it still needs tweaks. But it just needs tweaks. I think they reworked it pretty good, and it's looking a lot better than it did. So obviously I'm more interested in your guys' thoughts on where your tier lists are sitting right now after the patch. Do you think I got it right, wrong, whatever it is? And I will catch you guys on the next one.